Hello and welcome to Unshaken Families, a podcast by parents for parents who are doing a pretty good job, could be doing better, and are trying not to beat themselves up about that. I'm your host, James Lapine, and I believe that becoming a parent is one of the biggest shifts that you'll experience in your life. You're listening to Season 1, The Wisdom of Reddit. This is Episode 6. All right, so in Season 1, as I've said many times, we are looking at the top 10 pieces of parenting advice from a viral Reddit thread. We are examining what's true about it, what's maybe not so true, and what the Bible has to say. Are you ready for this week's advice that we're looking at? Are you guys ready?
Oh, we're ready.
Okay, Forrest, you ready? Head nod, drum roll. They're gonna be what they're gonna be. Don't compare them to other kids. And I hate to do this, but for the second week in a row, I'm gonna go 50% true on this one. They're gonna be what they're gonna be. Don't compare them to other kids. What do you think about that? 50%.
50% feels low.
Yeah? You think it's gonna end up higher?
I don't know. That's just my take.
Hey. You have to keep listening to find out. There are two parts to this one. So we're going to look at each part on its own. So the first part is they're going to be what they're going to be. And this is the one that I'm struggling with a little bit because to some extent that is true. If you've been a Christian or if you are a Christian or you've been around Christians for a while, you've probably heard Psalm 139:13 at some point. We referenced it in an earlier episode. It says, "For you formed my inward parts, you knitted me together in my mother's womb." And so what this tells us is that every human being is made by God in his image. And so we may have ton of similarities with someone else, but there's really only one you, and there's only one of your kids. And that is pretty amazing to me. Sometimes when I look at my son or daughter, I just marvel. It's absolutely wild to me. Here is Ivy James Lapine. She is a one of one. And there's this book called Every Moment Holy. Y'all know Every Moment Holy? You heard of this book of liturgies? Okay, it's wonderful. It's a top 5 book recommend for me. And so I wanted to read one of the liturgies. This is for the marking of birthdays. And this speaks to this idea of, they're going to be what they're going to be. It says this: "How marvelous it is, O Lord, that you contemplated each of us before we were made. How marvelous that you considered and created us, decreeing the very time and place that each of us should enter the world to live out our own part of your grand story." And so we celebrate today the first appearance of Ivy James Lapine, for example, in this epic tale of redemption. We gather to celebrate and to give thanks, and that her life and days are woven with ours, that we might share the joys and burdens of life together, delighting in the ways your glory is reflected in the unrepeatable gift of their being. They're going to be what they're going to be. You have created each of us, O Lord, to bear your image and unique expressions, reflecting a facet of your glory in a way that no other person in all of history will, so that by knowing one another, we might also know you better. I think you were right. This one might actually be 100% true. I'm thinking this one might be more true than I thought it was, because the second part is don't compare them to other kids. So they're going to be what they're going to be, and in some ways that's true, right? God has made them exactly who they are. And then don't compare them to other kids. Teddy Roosevelt is credited, at least, with this quote that says, "Comparison is the thief of joy." And Tim Keller said it this way. He said, "The essence of gospel humility is not thinking more of myself or thinking less of myself. It is thinking of myself less." So yeah, don't compare your kids to other kids, and realize to some extent they are who God made them to be. And yet, here's why I'm not quite at 100%. He is not done with them yet, and he's not done with me yet either. So maybe this one's more like 66% true, maybe 70% true. But good job, Bill. Proud of you. Yeah, well done. every night I pray with my daughter that the Spirit would make us more like Jesus as we practice the spiritual disciplines. And as we mentioned in a previous episode, this is called sanctification, and it takes your entire life. And so here's what I'd say in conclusion. Avoid comparison. Remember that God knit them together. And then do your best to help them see and become like Jesus as they grow. All right, if you enjoyed today's episode, make sure to subscribe, text a friend, follow along. You don't want to miss the next episode, which, by the way, we will be talking about our next piece of advice. Are you guys ready for this, Forrest? Yeah? Belle, here we go. It is this. Are they doing something wrong, or are they doing something I don't like? And that's not advice. That's a question. That's just a question, but that's okay. We'll do our best to handle it next time. We'll see y'all then.